So long, crime-solving Jessica Fletcher of murder, she wrote fame. Farewell to Trudy Baker, the high-flying stewardess of the swinging 60s. And happy trails to J.D. Harden, writer of 9 westerns, including the indelibly titled Bibles, Bullets, Brides. All passed away with the October 21 death of Don Bain, ghostwriter extraordinaire, the best-selling author who toiled under assorted pseudonyms across a half-century career. Bain, 82, wrote more than 120 books, including 45 detailing the detective work of fictional Cabot Cove co-author Fletcher. He was a great storyteller, said longtime friend Sanford Teller. Most of the time he told other people's stories, and he made a very good living at it. Bain's most successful book, Coffee, Tea and Me, provided an insider's look at the lives of 2 young, free-spirited flight attendants Rachel Jones and Trudy Baker. Few knew the 1967 book was written by a mustache-wide 6'4" former American Airlines PR man, and based on the mildly salacious tales of 2 real flight attendants with different names. Coffee, Tea and Me sold more than 5 million copies and led to 3 sequels. The Kindle edition still sells for $12.99. The book found a place in the cultural zeitgeist, even making a cameo appearance 30 years later in the 1997 Disney flick George of the Jungle. During his mostly merry ride as a writer, Bain became a master of genres: The Racing Flag, a 1965 history of stock car racing, Caviar, 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 a 1981 coffee table book dedicated to pricey fish eggs, A Member of the Family, a 1993 yarn about organized crime. Bain ghosted the last book for Nick Vassall, a former Washington, D.C., police vice squad officer. The two had previously collaborated on Sado Cop, a 1976 Terrell memoir where Vassall acknowledged planting evidence and testifying at trials to win convictions. Fast forward a decade. Vassall was called as a defense witness at a high-profile mafia prosecution in Manhattan. When cross-examination came, the prosecutor pulled Vassall's book from his briefcase. That was, Bain later recalled, the end of Nick Vassall as a credible witness. Pamela Bain. Bain's first murder, she wrote, title came in 1994. He shared the author's credit with the Angela Lansbury character, although Fletcher always received top billing. We called him Jessica, his daughter Pamela recalled with a laugh. A lot of people called him Jessica. Bain surreptitiously collaborated with presidential daughter Margaret Truman on a series of Washington-based thrillers. Murder in the White House and Monument to Murder were among the titles. He was only acknowledged as a co-author on the books written under Truman's name after her 2008 death. The agreement was that Don would never admit that he was Margaret Truman, recalled Teller. He was iron-bound not to say he wrote the Truman books. Bain was content as an ethereal figure, an omnipresent if oft unknown two-fingered typist. He told me, if there's bad reviews, then I love being a ghost, said Pamela Bain. He did admit there were times with great reviews, and there were a lot, when he would have liked some recognition. Before becoming an author, Bain unsuccessfully peddled Olivetti typewriters on his native Long Island. He quickly came to prefer sitting in front of one. Bain at one point leased a small office inside a Long Island restaurant called the Jolly Fisherman for use as his writing room. This was well before computers, recalled his pal Teller. He had 3 Selectric typewriters, each on a separate stand, writing 3 books at one time. As it turns out, the Jessica Fletcher mystery series will endure without Bain. The news comes with a plot twist: his grandson Zachary, 29, will come on board as a writer. Bain was thrilled by the news, as was Zachary's mom Pamela. But she still remembers growing up in a house where Dad toiled without fanfare in the basement. When people asked what he did, she recalled, "I'd say he was a typist."